Here's a look at the market for Wednesday, May the 13th, 2009 through the eyes of eMiniDayTrader. This is, of course, just a shortened version of the much more detailed and longer one video that we place on the member side of our website each day. We'd like to start off here with the Globex sessions and our market profiles. This was yesterday during the day, referred to as the RTH, regular trading hours, and this was today. I had mentioned yesterday that we had a very strong move off of the low late in the day, and that we were expecting some follow-through. And of course the test on that is to see if the overnight session could take out the regular trading hours high, and it did not. As you can see, it only got up to here, came within a point of it, and then had a good sell-off, in particular once the news was released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You can also see that most of the volume, even though most of the trading time occurred up here, most of the volume occurred down here, which is where the opening for the regular trading hours, which is this blue mark here. So it was a very negative close, well below yesterday's value area and also below yesterday's low. And so that was really, if you weren't looking at what was going on last night, that would be the first indication that the sellers had really kind of turned things around, and this rally here that occurred tended to be more of just a short covering kind of thing than anything else, probably on the swing traders. So when the news was released and it sold off, it really continued throughout the day. We had a little bit of an attempt up here just to poke inside yesterday's range, but that was rejected, and more or less the rest of the day continued lower with, of course, a fairly negative close. So it has gotten down to the areas where we were mentioning would likely be good support. We're looking at support in around the in around this area here of which was the initial balance low today, around about 885. And of course this was yesterday's low, which is also key price. So we're actually looking here that the market could dip down into around the 874 area, will be the next area of support. And we really do think that today's high is a pretty important high, and that if it does get taken out here, the market could have a nice move up. So remains to be seen, of course. We have news coming out in the morning at 8:30. The kind of news that could move the market, it's the PPI, and the initial claims will be released. So we'll want to keep our eye on that. So potential support in around 874, and then key price around 895. Should the market hold above that, we would expect another leg up. And we're getting actually fairly close to that long-term support as well, which is in around the 870 area. So that's another area of likely support as well. As far as our trades were concerned today, based on our system trades, we had early short right in here, and then an early long. The short was a small loss of 3 ticks. It was a small loss of 2 ticks, and then we turned around and got long on here. Market rallied up and hit our first 2 objectives. We just barely got nicked on it here, otherwise would have had a nice profit on that final partial. And then the market came down, and we ended up by getting short in here with this balance area. It hit our first objective and then turned around, so a break even on that trade. And when by the way, I forgot another trade. We did get long right in here as well. After this bounce up here, we did get long, and we ended up by losing 2 ticks on that trade. That was the market kind of gave us a 2-step on that one, because we were thinking at that time that the buyers that had come in and pushed it off the low, even though our background information, what we're looking at to really determine the directional bias for the day, it was still down, and we were looking at that time that it may have shifted, and that's why we ended up getting long up there. We held it for 10 minutes and then got out. I think I lost 2 ticks on that trade, so it just didn't have the expected bounce. And then getting back to this trade here, that was the short. So we didn't have a good deceleration until here. We had a nice trade as it rallied up here. We had a second long here, and it also rallied up. Both of those cases plus 2 and plus 2.25 points was actually the maximum move, so hitting our first and second objectives on those trades. So a day really controlled by the sellers, and it does really look like that 95 area is going to be a key one. 95.50 today's high. I think that's a fairly important price. We need to keep monitoring that to see if the market, as I said, if it can get above that or not. In the meantime, it certainly has more weight on it, and we're really looking at around the 874 and then 870 as the next areas of support that's likely to be hit based on the strength of the sellers dominating the auction at this time. Now that could obviously end at any time. We've had a really strong run up over the past couple of months, and the market has rallied I forget exactly what it is, but it's like 150 points or something like that. Sorry, it's 250 points. And now it's backed off a little bit. So really the 870, 870, and then 874 good support, and we'll see if those get hit. So that's our look at the market for right now. And obviously, if you've got any questions or comments, say hello. We're at info@eMiniDayTrader.com.